right, hi there everybody. Here we are at the beautiful Mount Wilson Ranch. We decided to swing on by on our way back to Colorado.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
And thank you for the information. I mean, it does, every day seems to be something new.
Right.
We seem to learn things. The idea of an underground here, laboratories, it's been, it's out there.
Yeah.
A lot of people call me and tell me about these, whatever it is under here. What you told me, I mean, it's like almost like, oh, that's it. That's the answer.
That makes
An
sense.
elevator down to something that would be there, and that's what we're looking for, the entrance.
Right.
Whether they scuttled that, blew that thing up, closed it up, sealed it with all that concrete.
Let's talk a little bit about what we know of the Howard Hughes connection to this area.
So there's an owner in this place that was Dick Williams. Dick Williams apparently was Howard Hughes' main concrete contractor.
Now that's interesting. The concrete slab.
Mm-hmm. Concrete in Las Vegas, all the stuff that Howard Hughes was doing with his runways and everything that he did. So up here, the building that you stayed in last night, this building here, concrete.
Interesting.
Early 50s, 40s, somewhere in there, they were built.
Okay.
Same idea now.
Right.
Concrete all up here in the mountain. It's a pretty interesting thought. But there's a lot of thoughts again. I've heard so many different stories.
Right.
Again, I guess until we hear otherwise.
Right.
These people seem to believe Howard Hughes potentially is Robert Bigelow's dad.
That's interesting.
So,
I mean, if you pull up a picture and you're looking at them side by side, you're like, huh.
yeah,
I mean, come on.
Yeah, again, until somebody says otherwise,
Right.
you've heard Mr. Bigelow's supposed past. But like I would say, and I do, until it's disputed or until Mr. Bigelow comes out and says, he's not my dad.
Right.
This was my dad. Let's say Mr. Bigelow getting tossed out of here.
Right.
Everybody says, well, why did he leave? Why would he have sold that place? If there was an entity that visited him in the middle of the night and told him, leave,
Yeah.
that's a reason.
Right. That is a reason.
Now, again, until we hear otherwise, that sounds like the reason why he would have left this place.
So talk about Howard Hughes. He has a runway here, correct?
So Howard Hughes apparently owned over 700 different properties throughout Nevada. He owned mining claims. Apparently he's the start of the whole test site because whatever he was doing in Vegas, they made him go out into the middle of the desert.
Right.
He had the Mormon mafia, the people that actually helped him to do his thing. And who knows, again, the same thing. I'm not really sure what his exact thing was, but I could say in things that I've been told, apparently there's a P-51 Mustang buried under here with jet engines on it.
Wow. That's interesting. And, full disclosure here, I haven't done a lot of research or archival history on Howard Hughes. I've watched the movie like many of you, and I know just a very little about him. But I do know enough to know he kind of lost his mind there at the end, right? Could that be tied to Mount Wilson Ranch and things he experienced and saw here? Have you thought about that?
Absolutely, yeah. I've been that way. He locked himself in a hotel, wouldn't come out. So I would say, imagine if you started realizing and learning things that, none of us really know about.
Right.
And then he started figuring them out.
Yeah.
All of a sudden he got to the point where he got nervous, maybe.
Yeah, and if he had something talking to him or downloading with him. I mean, even our greats, Nikola Tesla, claimed to be getting downloads. Who knows? Maybe that was going on with Howard Hughes.
I mean, again, you look
Right.
at this hole that we've
Right,
dug,
right.
the artifact, the things
Talk
that we've...
about the artifacts you found. Okay, so Jeff, here we are at your dig site. And do you want to talk about what this is and how this came to be and what you think?
So during our filming, we did a lot of excavations, dug out a lot of things. We know what happened here. Mr. Bigelow, when he had his encounter in 2005, decided to scuttle this place, bury everything, and get out of here.
Right. Something spooked him.
Something spooked him, apparently the shaman.
Yeah.
So in our dig, this thing comes out of the hole. And this thing to me, I don't know. I don't know that much about electric. But I know there's some big old wires in here.
Look at how, that's my pinky. Those things are.
Yeah. Through here. Big copper top to it. This is a piece I actually had that was sitting over by that telephone pole.
Power
Powerful.
just came up here, powerful, and just stops here.
Yeah.
And you never really understood why,
Well, I always wondered.
right?
But again, remember, Dick Williams, who was one of the previous owners, who was personal friends with Howard Hughes.
Mm-hmm.
He was his main concrete contractor. Here we are with something that looks like a form of concrete.
Right.
Here's a bunch of the other stuff that has come out of this hole, which are giant pieces of concrete. You talk about a concrete building with an elevator.
Mm-hmm.
There's all of this stuff that came out of there. Again, it's that old style concrete with all the rocks in it.
Yeah.
Just like this. Like this
Right,
thing
just
doesn't
like
make
this.
sense to me. Which again,
So sconce.
yeah, sconce for this. This was like some form of a light.
And where there's one of these, because I could see a big pole connected to this, right?
Yep.
And a lamp on top. The sconces come out the bottom. Like a really ornate, beautiful lamppost almost, right? And where there's one of these, there has to be.
That's what, imagine the whole street lit up down
Right,
below.
that's what I'm saying. Like a whole beautiful, like Italy or something. Like this is not even the style of it. And look at, I don't know if we can zoom in on these, whatever they might be, but they're all the same. Have these little off the top coming down. I mean, it's just.
Remember, a ranch in the middle of nowhere. in
And
the middle of the town.
remember where we are. Exactly. It's just, what is it doing here?
This looks like it should be in London or somewhere.
Exactly. That's how I feel. Like I can just see it, like,
See, that's why it was
singing
cool.
in the rain.
Yeah,
kind of
that's
thing.
when I talked to you the first time, I said, what is this thing?
Yeah, and where there's one, there's more. And why is it here? It's
Yep.
just, wow. And is it connected to Howard Hughes?
Dick Williams, Howard Hughes.
But could it possibly have been underground and something happened to this particular one and they brought it up and, it's more to the surface? I mean, so many questions, right?
Well,
what
again,
else is down there?
You say elevator, and I say, oh, that's a great explanation of why that power line dead ends there. We've always wondered why there's a power line that runs to a dead end.
That's strange. And you kind of mentioned a little bit, but there are some electrical anomalies here, weird wirings, and a little suspicious.
Yeah, in season 1, a fixed array was found down in the meadow. Well, people are like, well, how is that thing powered? Because the first time they did their thing, it was powered.
Right.
Second time they were here, it was not powered. So there's an ability to turn this thing on, turn it off.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yes, we had some power work done here. Yes, out of the clear blue, the power company
People working
came
at
in.
night?
Working in the middle of the night.
Working in the middle of the night.
Oh, we cut your septic. We have to do something.
Mm-hmm. Suspicious stuff.
Just
Suspicious stuff.
why would they do $1 million project burying lines on this property?
Right. Clues to be found.
Absolutely.
In the synchronicities beyond coincidences with Earl Grey, his mother, Howard Hughes, you, me, the Colorado Rain, all that. It's like, what is this? A lot of these locations are bridging the gap between, it's not just aliens and buried UFOs. It's maybe buried aircraft and technologies and laser weapons and plasma balls and Tesla technology and who knows, consciousness piece. You kind of touched on that.
Well, we were looking at the electric spacecraft journals today.
Right.
You look through those, you see, let's say, Dr. Tim Ryan. You know where Tim Ryan is now? He's still at Northrop Grumman. He still works with DARPA.
Yeah.
Many years ago, we were told about the manta ray. That's apparently what this thing is called. There's a thing called, it has a name.
And wasn't that just like
Our government just came out with, we have a new vessel called a manta ray. And then we have another new vessel called a manta.
Yeah.
Is
Did
that
it begin here? Did it begin? And tying the Rocky Mountain Ranch into that, we're nearby NORAD, Air Force Academy, these kind of things, MK Ultra stuff, evidence of that. So that's early 70s. Then in the 80s, you're coming out here near Area 51. Aerospace companies, Mount Wilson, Skinwalkers. It seems to all be connected somehow, and it's finding those connections that we're trying to figure this out.
Just think
We're
of how
just
many
two
years.
regular people going, what the heck?
Well, just those years that we thought this was all sci-fi and wild. You look at those magazines. It was real. There's patents. The orbs, the flying plasma balls. That was common play in the 50s and 60s. They were playing with that. They were altering it. They were controlling it, making it do things.
That's right.
Who knows what? Again,
Right.
The same thing. What's that for?
And that's a good point. Like looking at patents. Now, whether patents are taken through to fruition or whether just ideas that they're patenting, doesn't matter. What that tells us is they're looking at these different technologies way back then. Like, we're so more advanced than we'll ever know. And I think all that ties into it.
Totally.
Totally.
Say 17 plus years of owning this place.
Yeah.
Mr. Bigelow finally on a Jeffrey Bigelow podcast talked about this place. It's the first time he talked about it since I owned it.
Really?
He bought it because for his laboratory.
So there could be a laboratory underground.
What did you hear?
Laboratory underground.
What have I heard from 4 or 5 other people?
Laboratory underground. And possibly a big city. I mean, by the looks of what you dug up out here, looks like something you would see in a really well sophisticated city that's ornate and beautiful. And what the heck is that? Right?
Yeah, what were they powered by? Tesla coils, Tesla power.
People talk about the Great Reset, consciousness piece, these truths coming out, disclosure. It means different things for different people.
I could just say I was doing work for Mr. Bigelow when I moved to Las Vegas originally back in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Everything he was doing was rockets, space, habitat modules, Genesis 1, Genesis 2. Now he's everything's scuttled,
mm-hmm.
and now it's into consciousness.
Yes.
What happens when you die? Where you go? We've had several of his people here,
mm-hmm.
several of these psychics that can, far beyond me.
And an interesting connection to
Caverns under the...
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Vibrations underground, sounds.
Like
right?
we said, why are our pictures always crooked here?
Right. I'm like, earthquakes?
Just low-level vibration. This ground just moves.
Right. And the Rockefellers as well. Didn't you have a...
David Rockefeller, yeah.
Well, the mystery continues, and I think it would be really cool if we can go see the runway.
Definitely.
We'll drive out there and we'll take you guys along with us.
So if anything would be like a Howard Hughes relic, right? Look at that.
Wow.
That's on this old runway.
Let's walk over.
And this is where we have it marked out to 1,760 feet because we have it, shooting range down here as well. But look at the size of this. Look at the width. Look at that. Does that not scream Howard Hughes? Aviation, that guy, everything he did. I mean, when you do your research of him, you're going to understand he was...
idea of the size.
Yeah, he was the guy. He was Mr. Plains.
And look where we are. All around us, we're like in the center of this bowl of mountains, right?
Like a little
Near
hidden
Area
runway.
51. Near where he possibly had this concrete city underground, under your feet.
This is where it is.
Right, and when the Rockefellers visited, didn't they have a specific location they needed to go to the place?
I didn't follow them. But yeah, he specifically said right to me, we're going to go check out the portal. Again, for me.
What? Yeah, you're like, huh? You weren't as deep into it then.
No.
So you're probably thinking, cuckoo.
Well, again,
Yeah.
Bigelow told me that
now-
there's a alien mining operation, a city under there. I mean, this goes deeper and deeper. All the way when I was buying this place. Did I believe that? No.
Do you believe it now?
Now I'm like, yeah, I don't know what to believe.
I don't know what to believe either. Well, let's kind of walk down the runway just a little bit so we can get an idea and a sense of the length of this thing and the straightness of this thing. And...
So recently, then I could just tell you another one. One of the gentlemen died up on the mountain here. Retired Air Force. His family met Nick Nack, told us the story. Basically, this runway was actively used by DC-10s, DC-9s back in the day. Yep. If you look inside of it, you can see how wide it is across.
Right, yeah.
It is pretty big.
Cut out.
Down the other end where I've had my friends land their planes, it's a lot smaller down the other end. But this, look, there it is, 1,760 feet right there, 1 mile to the end of the runway, right from this spot. And it starts, up there. And where's the ranch? Right there.
So the ranch is right, basically.
Right past that little knoll. We have the old roadbed that's back in the woods out there. There's old cairns and things that just, again, don't make explanation. Never been told. I never heard about them, but they're there.
What a mystery. What?
Jeff, I noticed as we left the airport, there's only one way to exit, which is to the right, towards the ranch. If all this, as you said, was once paved, and that was once paved, it's clear that nobody was turning in the other direction to leave this property from the runway, but from the ranch back to the runway, and from the runway back to the ranch.
So the bunkhouse, apparently it's old Army barracks. The building next door that I donated to the county, which is now a fire station, that was like a big service station, roll-up bays, like trucks that service the runway.
Interesting. Well, that
Army
shows it all.
barracks,
Yeah,
a service place for the runway.
it's clearly evident. For sure.
That's really interesting.
I appreciate you being so, your hospitality and hanging out and being so open to the interview and everything else. So thank you for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you.